Hey, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. It's KPR Network, Knowledge, Power, Respect. I'm your host, Rashonda, also known as Ro, with my two lovely king co-hosts. What's going on?
Hey, Pudge 55, all the way live. What's up, bro? What's up, babe? Let's do this.
Hey, what's happening, Ro? What's up, Pudge? Man, we're going to get it in. You know what I'm saying? It's your man, Oliver Baker, a.k.a. Bake Boogie. You know what I'm saying? Also known as your mama's favorite stepdaddy. Yeah, dig. What's going on, y'all? Let's get it in.
Yeah.
All right. So, lots going on this week, y'all. Kyrie Irving, that's been like the talk all over the internet, all over the news stations and, all over the radio stations, y'all. And, we see he's losing endorsements, So, for those of you who don't know, tell them what's going on. Like, how did this whole thing come about? Because he posted a link to a movie, correct?
Yes, there's a book, I believe, that's on Amazon. And it's
so
also
is it a book or a movie?
It's a book and a movie.
There's a book and a movie. And so since he posted the link. Now, that's what I know so far. And people wanted him to apologize. Seems like the media wanted him to apologize. And Pudge, you could speak to that a little bit more.
Yeah, the media tried to force feed an apology. And as like we talked earlier, I feel that it felt like it was Muhammad Ali all over again, saying the things that he said back in the 60s, they were trying to force Ali to, apologize for the things he said, and he was like, no, and in my opinion, I don't agree with how Kyrie did it, just like with Kanye. I don't agree with how they did it, but I'm on the side of, well, shit, we got to wake somebody up. You got to shake something up a little bit to make something, maybe get something out of it. I don't know. That's just my little observation to it. But they tried to force him to give an apology the way they wanted to be, and you saw it. They really wanted him to go, I'm sorry. They really wanted it. I'm sorry, like Kanye did. But he didn't do it, so now he's losing endorsements. He got his Nike Jumpman just pulled him, so we're gonna see what happens.
See, I see it a little different, Pudge. Because how can you force the smartest man in the room, Kyrie Irving, to say anything? He's the one that went to Duke. He's the one that believes the earth is flat. So he's the one with the special powers, and he's thought beyond, his thought process is way beyond anyone else's. So he's so enlightened, he's more enlightened than everybody. So I wouldn't blame the media, because if he's so knowledgeable and so enlightened, he should be able to speak and control and manipulate, whatever's coming his way, because he's got that kind of high intellectual capacity. Because this is Kyrie Irving, for God's sakes.
I think he did that, but I think he did that. I really think he kind of did that with not giving the white apology that they wanted. They wanted him to really bow down and get down on his knees, and he was like, well, I take responsibility. That's how I'm apologizing. I take responsibility. See, they didn't want that. They're like, no. That's, to me, that's an apology. When you say I'm taking responsibility, I know what I did. Okay, it's done, but I'm not.
That wasn't enough, though. I guess that wasn't enough for them.
Why?
Bake, were you being sarcastic just now, though?
What do you mean?
When you were saying he's the smartest and he's enlightened more than anyone?
Oh, because that's what he gives off.
No, that's what he gives off.
And like we've all talked about it, right? Like, you remember when you learned something right away? Couldn't nobody tell you nothing about what you just read?
Right,
What you and I'm going to say what you're attaching yourself to, because it feels good. It's not necessarily a fact, but the fact can be subjective because you know what? If I put on this Superman suit and I jump 5 feet away, you can't tell me I didn't fly for the however many seconds that 5 feet, because that's my perspective. That's how I feel, you know, in that Superman suit. So I get it, but you can't then say, you know what, because I'm Superman, you know, all these other people are Superman too. And I'm saying, no, it don't work like that. Not science.
I can, yeah.
But he's the smartest guy in the room because he went to Duke for about 4 months, played basketball, and then left and went to the he should have stayed in some in college. You know what I'm saying?
I think what's happening is, you know, my whole take on it, and you guys know how I feel about this, is, you know, he's being, you know, he put this out there, and yes, he has the influence because he has millions of followers, right? Yes. And so, you know, with the influence of these celebrities, you know, of these athletes, you know, this can, you know, cause a stir because it can make some people begin to feel some type of way towards certain individuals or certain groups or certain ethnicities, right? And is that really the concern, or is it about money? Somehow,
it could be both.
It could be
both, because we know, Ro, how I always say that's one of the tactics that have been put against us. And I'm not talking about just Black folks, just the world in general. That you gotta choose a side. It's gotta be Black and white, off and on. How come it can't be this and that? And that's where I believe it's a this and that. It's a money issue in there. There's some, you know, go make some more division in there. There's all of it. It's all together because that's why we have such a mess. That's why we have such a mess, because of that. It has to be this and that. You can't, if it was one or the other, you would have it more split, you know, kind of split even. You got pods, so that means there's some other fractions going on.
It's definitely, you know, I, you know, you got people. It's just like with Kanye. You have people who sided with Kanye. You have people who were against Kanye. It's all, you know, a divide, and now we see it happening with Kyrie because we see some people standing up defending him, and then we see other people, you know, that are like, just be quiet. He shouldn't be talking. He shouldn't be saying anything. Really, what I'm seeing, though, is that this thing called free speech, it only seems to work for certain groups of people. Like only certain people are allowed to have this free speech. We know because we discussed it last week how Twitter is now, since Elon Musk is in authority over Twitter, right? And, you know, the rise of the N-word increased like 500%. And nobody is canceling out those people. Nobody is censoring them. You know what I'm saying? So,
but some ads, to be fair, some ads have left. Some advertisement companies
have left. Okay, great.
But nobody's going to, like we said earlier, but nobody's going after Amazon and Jeff Bezos for.
Well, yeah, that I was going to get to that too, because you guys know, you know, I felt like, okay, he put this out, but this is, you know, he put this link. He shared something that he's not responsible for making. He didn't create it. He probably won't benefit or profit off of it financially. This actually helped the guy, whoever wrote this book and this movie, more than anything, you know. Yeah. So maybe in that regard, that's a brother helping another brother. Maybe that's what that was about with Kyrie, you know. And maybe that's what the part of the problem is too, because, oh wow, you put this out and here this brother is, you know, this is a Black man helping this other Black man. Now this Black man is about to prosper because people are running out probably to get this book, and they're running out, they're turning on Prime to watch this movie. So yes, you know,
yeah. And Kyrie, you know, has a don't give a fuck attitude. So,
but the fact that the movie or the book is considered anti-Semitism, you know, the fact that it's considered that, nobody's saying anything to the people who are distributing it, to the person, Jeff Bezos, I mean, whoever is in authority over there, who allows Prime, who's making these decisions? Is it Jeff? Is it
Amazon.
his staff? Amazon making these decisions to allow this movie to still be up?
And then I said, and Amazon has not released a statement about the damn thing in the first at all.
But I found two different arguments there, because one is about Kyrie and his sentiments to it, and one is about the movie or the documentary and its connection to Amazon. I think there's two different arguments, because one, you're dealing with the National Basketball Association, who owns and operates in a within its own rules and regulations, right? It's got its own body and functions. So I think when it comes to their players and how their players interact with the public, there is a concern, because they want to be able to still sell their product, and their product is the athlete and the things that are attached to the athlete. So in this case, if the athlete is attached to something that is considered by the people, when they find out something that is harmful, or whatever, then of course the league's gonna have a problem, because they don't want to give off the impression of these things, because every organization is supposed to, or not supposed to, but usually has some equity and inclusion, trying to be more for everyone, you know what I mean? And that's what big corporations do, right? And so it hurts the brand when a player or something attaches themselves to something that's non-inclusive, such as this. You know what I mean? I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But if other people are saying it, I'm not mad at Kyrie for learning and trying to figure out what's going on. No. But I think his mistake was just saying, you know what? I didn't mean to promote this thing. I saw it. I found some interest in it. You know what I mean? And that's all that happened. My bad. I should take responsibility, because I got 80 million followers or however many people, but I'm not trying to influence, hate or anything like that. I think if he had did that from the jump, it would have been cool. But that's why I was saying he's so smart,
But you know what, babe? It's so many people out there, even other people that are on the same level as Kyrie, as far as, the money that he makes, the spotlight that he has, right? That put things out there, that promote things. We have so much hate is being promoted and being spread. We're attacking one person, but not attacking everybody. Like,
but who are the people that you're speaking of? Because what I'm saying is, after George Floyd, everything now, especially social media, there's a microscope and people are sensitive. So these industries are going to come after people, no matter who it is. If it's white people, they come after white people too. It's not just black people who get attacked for saying insensitive stuff. We can't say that. It's white people too. Remember Roseanne Barr? They got her ass. Remember that?
Yeah.
So so I think it's all across the board, and I'm with you though, Ro. It's a lot of hate and division. That's the problem. People are starting to think that my shit don't stink over here when everybody's stuff stink. You know what I'm saying?
It seems to me like once Trump, started spitting his rhetoric out there, you know what I'm saying? It's like people are now just so careless with their words. Nobody cares anymore. Everybody's like thriving off of either being, petty is at an all-time high. Just speaking hate and just saying whatever it is they want to say. But it's like but people don't want to deal with the repercussions of that. Like, this is happening right before this time to vote. November 8th is right around the corner. Are people, really thinking about voting and looking at these propositions? You know what I'm saying? Because those are the things that are really going to affect us. How much is what Kyrie and Kanye talking about really affecting our personal lives?
Big time.
I don't know. What do you guys say?
I believe that it is. Like we had that little pre-discussion. I believe it is because you had the presidential election where all the black folks came out. It's known that black folks came out in droves and pushed it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Black folks didn't get everything that they wanted right away. So they kind of they got a little sour. They got a lemon sour. Tasting their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of started getting back into it again, and then we get hit with Kanye and Kyrie. So now you hear people talking about, boycott the NBA, boycott the NFL. We're getting that stuff again, stuff like and which to me that's what it does is that what about the Negro that's sitting there who was already not thinking about voting, but he was on that just on the teeter of just voting, not even a Democrat or Republican or whatever, but just voting, period. And then now you throw this in his plate, and first thing he gonna do is like we know he's gonna do. He's gonna like, man, fuck that shit.
Man, it's all the same. Both the parties is the same. I hate when I hear that. I hate when I hear that because I'm like, obviously you ain't paying attention to the politics.
Because the thing right now is these votes. These are the votes that actually really matter to me more than even like the presidential. Because once they get in there, they're gonna do whatever they want to do anyway. Which that's still gonna happen anyway. But these propositions, these
judges.
That's what I'm saying.
These laws, these things that affect our taxes, these things that affect, they got the Proposition 29 where they want to close down dialysis centers. Mm-hmm. Many of us, I got loved ones on dialysis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's like, I feel like this stuff that's happening overshadows, some of these real life issues. And some people would disagree with that, because they want to push the whole thing about who we are, you know what I'm saying, as a people.
Yeah.
But we still gotta live.
And this is the most important part of it. Screw the presidency, in my opinion. Presidency, it is what it is, and it goes where it was. This is the most important part right here to me. This right here. Because this is one of the real components of affecting us, these votes. So even if you don't want to vote.
Well, and they're already saying that the polls are saying that the Republicans got the House and the Senate.
They got both?
So far.
Well,
in the early
I'm expecting so people better go out there and vote.
You got to go out and vote. You have to.
I mean, but I think the people want the Republicans in there because I don't think that they realize fat meat is greasy until they get a taste of what these Republicans really got up their sleeves.
Yes, and then it's gonna be too late, and we're gonna be back talking about yes'm. We're gonna be saying yes'm again.
I should have listened. We should have listened. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we still too busy arguing over things that, whoever you believe you are, believe it for yourself, and get with your groups of people who also want to believe it. I mean, it makes me sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know what to say because I know Hebrew Israelites. I have loved ones who are Hebrew Israelites, and I'm not knocking them or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Believe what you believe about you. Again, I believe we are the original man and woman. Everybody that is not going to believe what I believe about me. They're not going to believe it for themselves. And we can't force people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what's going on. I don't know really why. I don't understand it, honestly. Why there's so much division and now it's hate. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think, and that's I think we hit on it a little earlier, talking about we'll be able to recognize it when it's brought with some love. But when it's centered around all this chaos and anger and all this other stuff, Ain't no God in that. I don't care what you call it.
I don't care what you get. Read Galatians 31:10. 31:10. And God said,
Yeah.
you ain't coming with love. That's not love. That's coming with you better take heed and bow now.
Look at Umar Johnson. Yeah. 500 lashes. Shaq, or who did he mention? Oh, you a bigger one. So that's 10,000 lashes.
Yeah, he named Stephen A, right? He said he was giving some lashes. And what was he saying? Lashes for what was it now? For the conduct or for misconduct?
For black man conduct or something. But lashes, like, and he take the belt.
Yeah, he take the thing. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Now we're giving. What are we doing?
That's a lashing. That's a lashing, and that's a lashing.
Yeah.
Stop it.
We gotta get. I just want to vibe with the people that want to vibe on the same frequency as me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's key.
Just if we not vibing on the frequency of love and respect, what is it? You know what I'm saying? We don't even gotta like each other, but if we can just have respect for one another. And right. I think that's the biggest issue, is that people just start becoming so disrespectful.
Come on.
And disrespectful to everyone.
Yeah.
It's, your mama's not immune. Nobody. And people don't realize the energy we give out is the energy we're going to get back. You know what I'm saying? Law of thermodynamics. Energy in, energy out. What energy comes out?
And rest in peace to the one of the Migos. What was his name? Takeoff this weekend.
Rest in peace to Takeoff. Yeah.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
It reminds me of that. Just indiscriminately shooting. Don't care who you hit. You know what I mean? You just shooting. You ain't even looking where you firing off at. And sometimes, you hit a straight somebody that you wasn't intended to hit. You know what I mean?
I want to say, I'm glad you brought up Takeoff, rest in peace. Because however the situation happened, what I found utterly almost, was kind of disgusted by it, was that we just had learned that morning that the brother had passed, right? Mm-hmm. Was killed. I mean, within hours, it was theories.
Oh,
it was all types of stuff, theories and symbols. Everybody's talking about it. He was sacrificed. And yet this is somebody's son. I don't know if the brother had kids. I don't know, but this is somebody's son. This is somebody's sibling, perhaps, if he has siblings. There are people really hurting behind this man's death. And y'all are symbolizing it.
The YouTube detectives, the Google 5-star general, sergeant, inspectors, whatever they call it. You know what it is?
It's a lot of motherfuckers who watch too much Force 48. That's all it is.
Hey, but they was frame by frame. Now look at the white shirt. Okay, I mean
that's Force 48.
Marathons. They was going 4 and 5 hour marathons, running it play by play.
That's First 48.
These cats don't need to be YouTubers. They need to work for Homeland Security. You feel me?
On the real, it was just like crazy to me how it's no respect for the dead. It's no respect for the families of the people that have to suffer. And then they got to go and they got to see all this stuff online.
The body laying on the ground in the video.
Come on.
Yeah.
We got
this is where I think, the social media is a gift and a curse at the same time. My sister and I, we were just talking about it yesterday, how sometimes we're like, we need to get up off of this thing, Then it's like at the same time, we still do need to know what's going on. We need to know what's going on in the world. And
yeah, because our real news don't give us real news.
No, they give us the same news that everybody else is putting out on social media. You know what I'm saying? Because
Well,
they're
well,
getting
well,
their news from social media.
well, I just read a journal that some scholars had wrote, and they said in 2021, 40% of the news that we get comes from Twitter. So now I have a problem because you know who just bought Twitter and all this, what's going on with these checks. I don't know where we're going with this now. You know what I'm saying?
You know what you just we mentioned that last week as well.
Okay, that's what that was. Yeah.
You know, it's a gift and a curse, honestly. So it's like we got to be careful of what we're even listening to, who we're listening to. We got to be careful of what we're receiving. You know what I'm saying? And what we're choosing to believe. We got to make sure that we, you know, research this stuff out even for ourselves. But when it comes to somebody dying, let their family go through what they got to go through. It's like all this, you know, but I have no control over it. All I can do is just be like, you know, what can I do? You just hope the family receives the comfort and the strength that they need.
Yeah, before the Kyries that are out there that are reading books and getting educated, because I see it's a lot of young ones, you know, that are getting it, and they're so fast to want to get it, that information, and they want to yell at the top of the mountain. I get you, but don't expect everybody just to jump on your bandwagon with you. Don't expect it. I know, and you like, oh man, I got the key. I got it. No, you don't.
Right.
And you got to do it slow. You got to go start with the people around you and see how they react to what you giving around. I mean, that's if you really, like, I've done it with my family. My mom, I'll say something to my mom just to see her reaction, and she'll be like, you know what? Okay. You know, and I've changed my sisters and stuff. They're a little bit different now because I've slowly, you know, fed them, you know, but you can't just dump it all on people and expect everybody, like Kyrie, what armor you got behind you?
Yeah. And that's another thing. Let's start using the right terminology when we speak and we use this, whatever form of English that we're using. But let's always try to be mindful of the context. Because when you say you got an army, someone else may interpret that as meaning real live weapons, and you're going to cause real live harm to people. Now, we know that your bitch ass was talking about this intellectual army or whatever, the Star Wars character that's in your head. But other people may not be playing like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what a part of how it affects us, you know, because now someone like us, we walk and we talk and we look like you, we can get in, you know what I'm saying? Someone like us can get misinterpreted of having the same philosophy you have. You know what I mean? When you're speaking for a whole race of people, that's what I say. Black people, we're not a monolith. I don't have the same beliefs as you have. You know what I mean? You can't make me what you want, what you read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially, Blake, like you said the other day, when we have had a different experience with Jews, you know, I've never had a whatever Kanye went through with his doctor and all that. I never been through nothing like that. So
the man Kanye was alluding to Cedar Sinai Hospital, right? Well, when my son was born, guess where he was born? Cedar Sinai Hospital. But I had a black doctor. You see what I mean? So Cedar Sinai was great for me.
Yeah, see, that's the thing too. I think that's the thing people don't take into consideration. Everybody hasn't had the same experiences with people. You have white people who love us as black people because they ain't never had a nigga try to rob them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But you got some white people who hate us because of that one bad experience with a black
tried to rob them.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with everybody across the board. If they've had a bad experience with someone of a different race, they may feel some type of way. I don't know if y'all remember Liam Neeson. I think that's his name, an actor. And one of the guy who played in Taken. Remember he did Taken 1, Taken 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think somebody in his family was either robbed or harassed or raped. I don't remember, but he basically was like on this thing for a minute where he couldn't stand Black people. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Because of his, because this had happened, to his family. So I'm sorry.
The trauma that happened to
him. The trauma. So it's like, again, everybody has had different experiences. You got people that come out and want you to hate everything they hate. I haven't had the same experience as you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't. And I'm not saying that I'll never have it. Now, does that make me a coon because I haven't had the same experience?
Right. And what kind of friend asked you to join their war? I didn't ask you to go out there and do all that. Now, why do I gotta join in the war? So when I hear the people in the chats calling the commentators coons and stuff, it really breaks my heart, because it tells me that whatever a Black person say, we just supposed to agree because it's a Black person. No, it's not right.
That's not
right is right and wrong is wrong.
But see, that's the thing. That's the culture we live in today, where everybody's caught up in group thinking. We all got to think the same. Nobody can have their own thought and opinion and concept about anything. And then if you do, they want to cancel you because it's not what they're on. You know what I'm saying? They want to cancel you because it's not what they're on.
Yeah.
Cancel me because I'm going to always think for myself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to always have my own opinion, and my desire is to judge with righteous judgment, not with my own personal biases or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's what power is.
Because what may not work for me may very well work for you.
Yes.
So I mean, this thing could get so deeper. You can unpack it so much more, so many layers to it. And it's not even just about Kyrie and Kanye. It's just all goes to show how it's really what's being revealed is how we are still treating one another.
Come on now, bro.
How it's still just a lot of division between us as a people. We can't seem to come together and agree on anything. And really the things that we should be focusing on, like building generational wealth, creating our own platform so can't nobody cancel us, creating our own media. You know what I'm saying? Creating our own NFL basketball teams like Ice Cube. They trying to come after him now for creating the big three. They don't want him to do that.
But our brothers making it hard for them, making it harder.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That man even brought his name up. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yep. It's like we already got one group of people against us that don't want to see us thrive on our own. Remember, they put us in Oklahoma. So then we had Black Wall Street. They didn't think we was going to thrive over there. They didn't recognize the resilience that we have. You understand what I'm saying? We thrive wherever we go. So now it's like, boom, let's burn it. And so anytime we do anything on our own, outside, but the sad part is within, it's still always a Judas that wants to come in and tear it all down too. How are we going to build generational wealth? How are we going to buy this land and get the land? Just imagine if they did give us our 40 acres and a mule.
We're going to be fighting.
You know what? But at this point of what the stuff that I've been reading, bro, 40 acres is almost a slap in the face. After the Reclamation Act, they was giving the white man 160 acres here in the West. Some of these white men ended up with 2,500 acres of land in the early 1900s. So they was already making money off the land in the water and receiving tax breaks and benefits and wasn't paying for the land. So, this whole monopoly thing, how the people go around the board. When you really look at this thing, they didn't win around the board a whole lot of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We haven't passed go yet.
We ain't even passed go. And then when the one Negro, when they let him would they let him go around the track 400 times before the rest of us? That he gets arrogant, he gets the talking mess, and instead of him bringing all of us together, he tells us we're this one type of people, and you got to think this way, or else, he helps the divider.
No, you get the Kanye answer. I make more money than you, so why should I listen to you? Nigga, you just like me.
The crazy part is, I'm sorry, babe.
No, I was just going to say, I wish that we could all one day fall up under Africa. I really believe if we just say, look, we come from the motherland, we the original people from the motherland, then I believe nobody stop us. But once you start saying I'm Muslim, Hebrew, Jewish, Taliban, whatever you think you are, then that's when the division breaks down. So if you could go, just reach to one place in Africa,
we can
say that, but we can't because, we got religion in the way.
Yep. Religion is too far involved. And now that more artifacts are being found and dug up and one person grabs that book. Oh man, did you see this? It adds more. Yeah. You got people flipping. You got people who are Hebrew Israelites who are flipping and saying, no, I'm just Asiatic African, whatever,
I ain't no stinking African.
The sad part, what just came to mind though, is that it's so much stuff out here called knowledge, and yet the Bible itself says that knowledge puffs up, but love edifies. People get knowledge and get puffed up in that knowledge, get prideful, get arrogant, and think they know everything. But love is what edifies. Edification is to build people up. And that's part of the problem is people are not being built up under the love factor. People just are putting their knowledge out there. Some of this stuff is falsely called knowledge. It's not real knowledge at all. You know what I'm saying? But, because I know this and I know that and you don't know it. And now I'm putting it out here. But now, and listen to me because you don't know what I know. That's not love. You don't believe what I believe. You don't think how I think. So now you're this, you're that. That's not love.
Because we're not using the words, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Not that. They're going, well, here it is. So is that what you believe? It is what it is.
Right, but that's the whole thing about communication, right? Because if I believe something, but I don't have anything else to measure it by, matter of fact, something else to measure it by, how do I know what I'm talking about is correct?
Yes, I agree.
That's true. So, y'all, we can keep going on and on about this because it leads to so much stuff. We've been all over the place, really, but we still talking about it's been the same thing, but it's like we touched on different things because this is what it's opening up. This type of dialogue, this type of energy. It's creating this division, but we don't want to be divided. Knowledge, power, respect. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but let's respect each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's respect each other. And if we can have these platforms where we can have dialogue without it turning into shout matches and niggas wanting to give somebody else some lashes, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. Now that had to be the funniest clip of the year, man.
That's the funniest shit.
Oh my gosh. You know what? People gonna go ham on that meme. There's gonna be all kind of memes about that. Watch, it's gonna turn into all kind of Yeah. But y'all, let's work on getting to the place of respect. You guys got any closing statements?
I'll say this. Like you said, Ro, get back to respect and respect of humanity. Being just blood. Just knowing that you see flesh in front of you. That flesh in front of you didn't do nothing to you. Especially if you come at them with some information and they reject it, are not so embracive of it. Lead with respect. To be able to go, okay, you don't like what I'm saying, okay. Now, why? And number one is ask them why and shut the fuck up. And then you and listen.
Yeah.
Half the time, because like people like Kyrie, he ain't even listening. That's where I get a little pissed off about him because he's not even listening. You know, it's like, okay, you like you said, you posted this book, but what about the book intrigues you? Don't like? What? You ain't saying nothing. You just going, I know who I am, so I can't be anti-Semitic. I don't know what that means.
It comes off pompous or whatever, and you're right, Budge.
And that's not being respectful.
And that's not being respectful. And that's the part where you're not going to, you know what, but we also know in order to be a good leader, you have to have good communication skills. Okay. But here's a man who didn't even play 35% of his professional game. So he didn't show up to 70% of the time where he should have. You know what I mean? So that shows you right there. You know what I'm saying? What type of space cadet we're dealing with. Now, I don't want to diss him too much because I know he believes that the earth is flat. So, you know,
we still gotta even be respectful to him, you guys. Because we talk about respect too. So we still even gotta be respectful in that regard. You know what I'm saying? And we do roll, but we have to know what level of individual that look, if you're gonna go against proven information, you know, people are not going to take you serious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
When there's something facts.
Yeah. So while you're learning, it's best to keep honing your knowledge base and be quiet, especially when you have such a large platform, because you're going to get clowned by people who've been studying and doing the research and stuff like that longer, you know, than you.
Yeah, I believe that.
And like you say, bro, no disrespect. I've been disrespecting his little punk ass. I ain't like him, you know what I'm saying? You know how I get down. Yeah. Because he come out so arrogant. I don't like the arrogant stuff, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that, the spirit of arrogance at all. You know what I'm saying? Because to me that brings about disrespect.
Yeah.
I just that's just the level that I hope that we all can reach, though, where we can, we do say each one teach one, each one reach one. We say that, you know what I'm saying? But we still have to there's other components to it as well. That respect factor, respect is gonna go a long way. You don't gotta like me or love me, but respect.
That's real.
Just respect. You don't gotta believe in what I say or the same things that I believe. We don't have to share the same beliefs. We can respect one another. You know what I'm saying?
If not, Ro, 2,500 lashes.
You know what I mean? That I just want us to just get to that point where we could just learn to respect one another and mind our business.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Mind and be focused on the things that are going to make us better as a people.
Yeah.
It's too much divide. Y'all. This KPR, we hope y'all tap into your own inner respect so that it comes outward as well. Peace.